not beating them over the head with, well, this is the way, because, you know, I went to, you know, deepening, and it was great, and, you know, I want to, you know, share this with you.
Yes.
You know, but at the same time, they're like, oh my goodness, this person is trying to convert.
They're zealot.
Some type of, you know.
Hey, brother, this is, I'm at this space right now. I call myself Baha'i, but basically everybody, we're all agnostics. Because nobody can prove that there isn't a God, but nobody can really prove that there is a God either. The way we come to know the concept of God and what God is, that unknowable essence, is through the messengers. So nobody can really disprove or prove. We're all seekers constantly. So to me, that's kind of fun. That's an opportunity to really like learn and explore.
And you can be humble and not say, I know. And once you know, like I know, then you'll be all right.
Yeah. You'll be saved. Let me get some. Yes, go ahead.
How about love? Because Paul used that word thousands of times.
He said, how about love? He said, but how will I use that word thousands of times? I'm with you, brother. In some way, the way love was defined in my family was, check this out. Here's a woman that has 2 children, and they're enslaved. Now, if she shows a love that we're told we can express now, she says to her babies, you are brilliant stars. You can be anything that you want to be in this world. You are a light. You are an infinite source of power flowing through you. You're a hollow reed. When the child will walk out of the shack and they will go, nigga, bail that hay, the child will go, you can't talk to me like that. I'm a bright star. That child will be slaughtered, killed as an example in front of everybody in that plantation. In order to keep that child alive, the way the mother showed that child love was saying, you little ugly MF, you're never going to amount to anything. You're such a knucklehead, worthless piece of you know what, blah, 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 blah. So when the child walked out of the shack and somebody said, nigga, go bale that cotton, the child would go, yes, sir. Because the very person that gave them life broke them to keep them alive. That was an act of love. This is why Abdu'l-Baha talks about we have to even recreate words. We have to redefine things because the words and concepts that we have been altered and distorted within this constructs. I'm with you. I agree, love. But we have to get together as community and really have conversations on what does love look like for you? How do you express love? And then develop the spiritual perception to even see the virtue of love within violence. It's elevating the discourse. It's impacting the way we interact. We can't do that in bubbles.
That's my question. How do we, I think we can heal, but we have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to break those bubbles. And there's this fear that harm is going to come to us if we go to people vastly different than us. If we go to a trailer park, for example, and have a dialogue with someone, oh my gosh, am I going to be hurt somehow? Or are my kids going to be hurt somehow? So how do we break out of these bubbles? Because I just feel trapped in the bubbles.
You know, sister, this is deep because tomorrow being the anniversary of Newtown, when I respond to crisis and around the country, riots, Kyle Garcia was shot up here by Flag PD, and I had to do mediation between the community and Flag PD. Still remember that. When tragedies and crisis happen in certain communities, there's always this phrase, and I'm praying, please don't say it, please don't say it. But when it happens in certain, affluent areas, people always say this, that wasn't supposed to happen here. It's always that phrase, that wasn't supposed to happen here. Now, I'm always real sensitive, but I'm always wanting to say, in your mind, when was that supposed to happen then? Because the minute we say that wasn't supposed to happen here, that is a subconscious affirmation that it was supposed to happen somewhere else. It was a plan. Safety is an illusion. This idea of good neighborhood, bad neighborhood, it's an illusion. We're oftentimes defining it based just upon wealth, money. The same level of drugs, prostitution, criminality is going on in those northeast Scottsdale areas as it is in South Phoenix. But because there is a veneer, we don't see street crime. So we all got to get out of our comfort zones. We got to work with the people that we have been told is the boogeyman. We have to test our resolve. We have to earn our humanity.
It's like a cancer, and the pain of opening up to each other sometimes feels like the pain of the chemo, but ultimately it will help the entire whole person, the whole being. And it hurts to talk about the differences. Or when I heard that from you, I felt like I was put into my place. Or when you said that, I didn't feel like you were acknowledging me as a human being, and you were like, like the whole, oh, you don't count, you're not really black, and this.
You're not black enough.
You're trying to be white.
Right.
And it's even in the Baha'i community, it's pervasive, it's tangible, and it hurts. And being able to say, what did you mean when you said that about this neighborhood versus that neighborhood? And being able to love each other enough and trust each other enough to know that we're trying to assist each other and not looking like idiots. If you have something in your nose, I'm gonna say, come here, you got something in your nose. Because that's like, I'm like, I love you. I don't want you, I know that's not the face you want the world to see. And so if I say, when you said that, I felt like you were talking about a certain class, or a certain color, or a certain, expectation from this.
Sister, this is why the instrument of consultation is so important. Because oftentimes when we have those kind of courageous conversations, by default we'll go to an instrument of colonization, debate. And debate means I am going to win and you are going to lose, or I'm going to lose and you're going to win. Versus how are we going to share? How are we going to be harmonious? Consultation gives us that tool. The other thing I think you bring up, something that's really powerful though, is that we just got to also be willing just to have the conversation. If I'm not willing to have the conversation, my silence is an agreement to what's happening. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it's okay. It's all right.
And it creates that need for the false intimacy of gossip, because it's like, oh my gosh, she said this and I didn't know what to do, and I just just sat there and stared. And it's like, on the one hand, consultation can be, help me with this issue so I can accomplish it, or it can be, listen to me have an issue and create a connection that way, versus help me through this issue because we can be better together.
You also said something too, I heard it. Thank you. If we all go out of this room right now and we're all gonna, all right, the source of our unity is we're gonna make money. Okay? We're gonna make money. Well, let's say we're successful. We make the money. What tends to happen? We turn on each other, our unity falls apart. We're going to walk out of this room and we're going to go defeat an enemy. We're going to go get them, whatever them is. We get our pitchforks and machetes and we go get them. What happens to our unity once we get them? We turn on each other or it falls apart. We're going to go build a house. We're going to go save some people that are struggling. We're going to dig them a well. Build them a house,
Take
we're
them
good saviors.
junior youth classes.
Right? And what happens once we build the house and build the well, the unity? But if our unity is on something as unknowable as God, the atheists are like, there is no God. Believers are like, there is a God. Well, let's explore how the concepts that people have associated with God can manifest in our structures. Then our unity is infinite. Never goes away. Because we're always exploring, we're always learning, we're always building. Now, if we keep using the fragments from the perfect mirror that's been broken off into these various denominations, all these fragments, wow, our unity is fragmented. There's a new mirror that's been delivered to us that we can draw from. It's called the faith of Baha'u'llah. Tim, it's 9 o'clock. We usually start at 7. I don't know what time you shut down and do your cocoa, right?
So you can take a break. I mean, have your adjustments, and then you talk to you individually if they like.
I'm going to hang out for a little bit, but I'm doing a workshop tomorrow actually on racial justice with Teach for America in Phoenix. I'll have about 50 people all day. Stanford, Yale, Princeton grads that are going into underrepresented communities to help them become more successful.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to drive back tonight, so I'll hang out for a little bit. But I want to just thank everyone, and I'd like you, before we stop, if we could sing a song, and then if somebody would be willing to say a prayer for closing, that'd be wonderful. I'm going to sing a song that is in the style of my ancestors.